go so I can be free. I take the weight on my shoulders. I feel the sky come down on me. And I can't hold it much longer. Gonna let go so I can be free. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let's do this. Frazier Friday. Scotty Braun, Todd Frazier, and Lo Cain is back.
Yes.
How you doing, Lo Cain?
Doing well, guys. Good to be back, and first time being on with Todd, so that's always a lot of fun.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Were there
Let's
any
go,
Lo Cain
baby.
Todd father battles?
No, we would talk on the field,
Yeah.
whenever he got to third base or first base. He always get the first, pretend like he was hurt, and then steal. And I tell the pitcher all the time, I said, listen, he's giving you the okey doke right now, man. Throw that pitch over here. My man is going.
You know how
He
many
get
people
that
have
lean
said
like,
that?
boom, I'm out. And he go on second base and look back like, got him.
Yes, I did that a lot. And Todd, I apologize, man. I took one away from you in New York. I apologize.
Yes, he did. He did. I remember that
No
too.
shit, over the wall?
Yeah. Listen, I've had a couple of those. It is what it is. Everybody says, tip your cap. I'm like, no, I was pissed. I was pissed, man. I saw
You
him
didn't tip your cap to him?
I don't think I
With
did.
that smile?
You're right. I should have. Looking back.
How can you be mad at that smile?
He did. He got me. But hey, it's all right.
Well, good. I'm glad we're all reunited. So we'll also hang out with Jim Callis, who works for MLB Pipeline. He's going to give us everything on the draft, on the futures game, prospects. Got to ask him about Ellie. I love your shirt today, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, 2015.
Perfect timing.
I know. I thought it was a good time. I saw it in the back end of the drawer. Said, why not bring it out?
I love it.
Cain, how many All-Stars you got?
All right, two for me.
Me too. So
Yeah.
I got these are still looking fresh because they only warmed twice.
Yes,
That's the magic number on this show, because I think
So-
Jason Kipnis definitely has 2. I think Pierzynski's got 2. I think like half the roster for Foul Territory hosts are 2-time All-Stars. So
That's it.
one, we have to vet you more and kind of bring it to the next arbitration round. But if you've got 2, you're in. Okay. Lance Lynn's going to join us, and also Matt Strahm will join us in the second hour. He's got a new baseball card show coming out. Apparently has over 1 million cards. The Phillies reliever who pitched great yesterday. We'll rip some packs with him.
Rip a pack
too.
with them.
Hell
That's going
yeah.
to be a lot of fun.
I have a long flight coming up in exactly 24 hours from now, because Foul Territory is taking over Seattle, Washington on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. If you like us, if you like this show, if you like this brand, then get ready for many, many hours of coverage. So starting on Sunday, we will live stream our own version of the MLB Draft, an MLB Draft takeover, which will include conversations with big-time guests, some of which I can't even tell you right now, around the game of baseball, but also draft picks. We will talk to JJ Cooper, who will be on the set with us from Baseball America. We're going to collab with them on this show. BA, one of the best in the biz to put this together. Baseball America's roster of talent will join us throughout, and other special guests on the draft. That's Sunday, 7 o'clock Eastern. Sweet graphic. I'm into it. And then Foul Territory's special coverage of the Home Run Derby takes place on Monday, 1 to 4 Eastern time. And then on Tuesday, we actually have 2 things on Tuesday. One is we'll be on again, right? So you see that in the middle, 1 to 4 Eastern. And then at night, we're doing an all-star takeover live from Tacoma, which is right next to Seattle. That's at Emerald Queen Casino. That's the big casino out there. And it'll be, for that one, myself, Kipnis, and Kratz, along with a ton of special creator guests like from social media and YouTube on certain teams. So you can watch the all-star game, but then listen to us go over your favorite players with some of your favorite people to follow, and go over some trade conversations as well.
Can I say something real quick?
Of course.
The home run you robbed from me, by the way, might have been one of the best catches you've ever made. So
Did you just look back at it?
I'm looking back at it right now,
Uh-huh.
and I felt so good that day too. And he gave me the Dikembe. He gave me the Dikembe.
That's why you didn't tip your cap.
No, oh my God, I forgot. It was a wet day too. It was rainy out. Oh, and I hit the hell out of that ball too. Oh man.
Yeah,
I'm looking at it right now. We got to find a way.
Oh, baby. And that thing was going fast off the bat.
Oh my God.
That was
man.
leaving the yard quick, Lo Cain.
Yeah, man. Hey, I
Man.
apologize. Like I said, I apologize, but you know me. I like to catch everything. When it comes out there, I want to make the play. You know how I
Dude,
am.
and that was opposite field because I rarely went oppo too. I felt
Yes.
real good. Whatever. Hey, listen, I'm gonna find you wherever you at, big dog.
Oklahoma with the tornadoes.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
You don't want to go there
never
right
mind.
now.
We good. We
But
good.
Man.
with first of all, that catch
That was
required
phenomenal.
every ounce of extension for
Mm.
Low. Like he ran back and jumped in the air, and still like it's barely getting into the
Oh
glove,
man,
fully extended.
just
Also,
ruined my day.
yeah, but shame on you, dude. You know, if Low Cain's in center, you got a
Yeah,
little,
but
put a little extra in
he
it.
was playing pull side. Where the hell did he come from?
Exactly.
Damn.
That's what happens.
I wish he pretended he was hurt so we had a misstep going there.
Well, let's start there.
All right.
One of the most flashy outfielders in the bigs. He's a rookie. He's hurt right now. We're going to charge the mound.
Yep.
Corbin Carroll, who's an all-star in his rookie season. If Ronald Acuna Jr. is not doing what he's doing, Corbin Carroll's in the MVP conversation. Right now, it's a runaway with Ronald, but Corbin hurt his shoulder. It's the second time in a week that the right shoulder's kind of becoming an issue. They're going through some more testing today, so we'll let you know if we hear anything back while we're live on the show, but it was on a swing in the seventh inning against the Mets. He kind of grabbed at it and then walked to the dugout, and he said it felt weird during an at-bat last week where there was an issue. Ends up playing again, okay. But the other problem is the past. It's the same shoulder that he needed surgery on 2 years ago. So that's where everybody holds their breath because not only is he super fun and exciting to watch, but the Diamondbacks are in a playoff race. Now they're only a half game ahead of the Dodgers. They just got swept by the Mets.
Yep.
If this dude's not playing for them, I'm saying, Todd, if he even needs to miss a few weeks, I think it could knock the Diamondbacks out of the playoffs.
Alec Thomas, hello. It's time to step up, young man. I know Alec very well from playing with the White Sox. His dad's my strength trainer. He's going to have to step up. It's going to be next man in line. I know I read the quote here, more positive than I was thinking after I saw it by, who was it, the manager, Torey Lovello.
Mm-hmm.
But it says his strength. Now, when someone gets hurt, sometimes your strength gets a little more stronger than usual. The other muscles in the other area wants to build up and helps out a little bit. I want to see what's underlying that strength, though. You know what I mean? Outside could be strong enough, but what's going on inside since it's the second time this has happened? Lo Cain, you know, when an injury happens twice, it's kind of concerning, man. Your thoughts on it?
Yeah, man, I agree. Injuries are tough. As you know, I had a ton of injuries when I played, man, and it's frustrating. But for them to lose a presence like that kid, I mean, he can hit all fields, unbelievable speed, run, throw. He can do a little bit of everything. So I enjoy watching players like that. So to lose him in the locker room, to lose him in that lineup, it's going to be a big blow. But they're going to have to find a way to put together a solid group of guys because the depth really comes into play when your big dogs get hurt. Guys in the minor leagues got to come in, step up until the big dogs come back. So hopefully they can hold the fort down until he returns.
So here's the next layer I want to get the player perspective on. So, Lo, either it's a problem and he ends up going on the IL, and we'll see the extent of the problem. I think he's going to be IL'd regardless because here's the other layer. He's from Seattle area.
Mm-hmm.
He is an all-star game starter. He could head over there and play in that all-star game and go through you guys both know the craziness, the schedule of a few days out there. And then you get to the second half of the season. You're like, I'm tired. I just went through the all-star game as a rookie. I could see the Diamondbacks being like, hey, dude, you see our spot in the standings and how you're playing and that big-ass contract we gave you before you even started playing? We're going to ask you to just take a little week breather right now because we need you down the stretch. Otherwise, we're looking back. The Dodgers are a half game away. The Diamondbacks are 4-6 in their last 10. San Francisco's 2.5 back.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to last long if he's not 100% in the second half. So do you think there's going to be a little debate behind the scenes? If all of the imaging and all the tests say he's okay, he can still play, I would think he'd want to be in his first all-star game coming from his hometown.
Yeah, it's fun because, like I say, it's his first one, and it's in his hometown. I mean, everything aligned for him to be there and play. But like you said, the most important thing is the season. Winning the World Series, winning the championship, getting to the playoffs is the most important thing, and they need him to do that. So you're starting to see guys, as far as like the home run derby, they're starting to kind of, get away from it because they're starting to realize that the season is the most important thing because, as we all know, it's tough to get to the playoffs. It's tough to win the World Series, and a lot of things have to go right. So at the end of the day, getting to the playoffs and hopefully win a World Series is the main focus.
Yeah, that's a big no for me. I mean, if I'm the brass and I'm talking to Carroll here, I'm like, go listen. You can go. You're not going to play though. I mean, that's a big no. You can enjoy it, have fun. This could be something that you can enjoy. Bring your family on the field, sit in the dugout, get to know some players. But you're going to sit there, big dog. You're a young man. You're a rookie. You're going to listen to us now. Enjoy the festivities. Hang your jersey on the wall when you get home, like I did on my All-Star jerseys. But you're going to sit there. You're going to work your shoulder in before the game, whoever's training there, and then go home and relax. This is a big no for me. Enjoy the moment. You don't have to play. I know it's in your home city. Get announced, wave to the crowd, enjoy that, but sit there and enjoy the moment because there's not many times you can, when you have an all-star, it's like, all right, I might be playing, I might be not, I'm starting. All right, now that you're not playing. So enjoy it. Get your name announced and, sit back and have some fun.
I was going to do, some of my game playing where I'm like, I'm Corbin.
Yeah, that's we do good.
I already kind of talked me into it. Okay,
yeah.
I can go out there. I'm just not going to get my few innings in.
Nope.
Let's rest the shoulder. I think that's fair.
Watch the home run derby. Enjoy a moment that you'll never forget. You could be a fan basically as a star player. You're being a fan watching guys hit home runs, batting practice, sign some autographs, sit in the bench.
Take the fam and the friends around.
Yeah,
right.
Of course.
Run around the city, have a good time. Okay, I'm in. Former All-Star, not this year, but he's back in the big leagues. Alek Manoah is pitching tonight for a Toronto team that just had one of their biggest days of the season. They swept the White Sox. And that first game actually was nothing, I think, through 9, and then eventually 6-2 and 11. And then they win the second game by a run. Our boy Whit Merrifield with a 2-homer game, seeing the All-Star city in Seattle, Whit. But what do we think about Alek Manoah tonight? I mean, brutal season for him numbers-wise right now, Todd.
Yeah.
And then down in the minors, he had the one A-ball start where he got blasted, obviously working on things. And then in Double-A, just one start, though. It's not like they gave him multiple trips there. 5 innings, a run, 10 Ks, 3 walks, 82 pitches, and apparently topped out around 95 miles per hour. Felt like the fastball command was pretty good. And who is this from? One of the guys that was watching him said slider less sharp, didn't get him in trouble. That line to me is what concerns me, because if he doesn't have his slider, he's not the same dude at all. And a fastball plays off of his slider because it's not sweeping across the zone the same way this year.
I'm going to say something I don't believe in, but Luis Severino said it in the minor leagues. These guys gear up for you, so don't worry about giving up so many hits and don't worry about striking out so many batters. Well, he struck out 10 in the minor league, so now I'm going to text Louis and be like, is that a good thing or a bad thing? But no, for him, joking aside, that slider has to be his pitch. That's his equalizer. And if it's not biting, guess what, Lo Cain? I'm sitting fastball all day until you could throw me 2 or 3 of those sliders for strikes. And when I get that fastball, I'm not going to miss it. And that's basically what these guys have been doing because the slider's been dangling. And when he gets the 2 strikes, once it does hang there like a Christmas tree ornament, they're going to smack it out of the park. So for him, fastball command, manipulate the batters. I want to see how that slider works. That's the biggest key for me right now. Command the fastball. I need a little more miles per hour on it. We'll see, because you're not throwing as hard. That slider's not going to look that good.
100%. I would have held him. I would have held him back until after the All-Star break. Me personally, because I would want one of my top guys to be sharp, ready to go once he returns to the big leagues. But I know there's always a rush to get back. I got to hurry back and get back for the team. But at the end of the day, sometimes you can end up hurting your team. So, hopefully he sharpens his slider up because, like you said, I'm sitting fastball. And as we know, we can't miss the fastball in the show. So, hopefully he can sharpen things up and get back on track.
Yeah, he better. And you're right. It's weird timing. It's right before the All-Star break. Maybe for them, they're like, give him some positive momentum heading into the break. But also, what if he pitches well? Then it's like, okay, now your next start's in like a week plus, which is kind of like, wow.
I want to see
multiple. Pitch well,
multiple.
He's sitting there going, shit. The season doesn't start up again.
What's going to happen
week
next?
And a half. Yeah, so interesting. That's a good point, Lo Cain. I like that. I like the Blue Jays, though. They've been pretty healthy. I think they're going to have a good second half. They just have to figure out how to beat the AL East. I mean, they're 0-7 against the Red Sox. We've gone over it. All right, we got draft talk coming up next with Jim Callis. So our first poll question, scan the QR code on your screen on Stadium, or you can just go to watchstadium.com/foul territory and punch in your vote. Who do you think is going to go first? 1-1 in the MLB Draft on Sunday when you're watching our coverage. Dylan Cruz, Paul Skeens, Wyatt Langford, Walker Jenkins, or Max Clark. Let us know. Also comment and give me some reasoning, please, if you're watching on Stadium's YouTube channel right now. We will talk to MLB Pipeline's Jim Callis, super, super knowledgeable on this, and he'll be on draft coverage. Next.
Today is July 7th, and here's a look at some significant events that unfolded on this day in baseball history. In 1900, Kid Nichols, Boston's exceptional hurler, marked a significant milestone in his career by recording his 300th victory. The 11-4 win over Chicago came just 2 months before his 31st birthday, making him the youngest player ever to achieve this notable figure. Turning the clock to 1937, Lou Gehrig, one of baseball's most iconic figures, led the American League All-Stars to an 8-3 victory over the National League. Gehrig showcased his exceptional talent with a home run double and 4 RBIs. The game, which was attended by President Franklin D. Roosevelt, also had a dark moment when Dizzy Dean's toe was fractured by a drive off the bat of Earl Averill. This injury altered Dean's pitching delivery, leading to an arm injury from which he never fully recovered. Fast forward to 1948, the Cleveland Indians made a controversial move by signing Satchel Paige, a prominent figure from the Negro Leagues. Initially met with ridicule and dismissed as a publicity stunt by owner Bill Veeck, the signing of the 42-year-old Paige proved beneficial as he concluded the season with an impressive 6-1 record. Lastly, on this day in 1991, baseball legend Nolan Ryan was within striking distance of his 8th no-hitter. However, his hopes were dashed when California's Dave Winfield singled in the 8th inning, denying Ryan of yet another entry into the record books. That's it for today. We'll see you on Sunday night when Foul Territory takes over the MLB Draft.
And now back to Foul Territory.
Back on Stadium, Braun, Frazier, Lorenzo Cain, Jim Callis about to join us from MLB Pipeline, and you can follow him at Jim Callis MLB. You'll see him all over draft and other prospect coverage coming up over the next few days. And Jim, great to see you. Thank you for joining us. And I miss you, man. We're both going to be working a lot, but in very different worlds this year. So I'll send you a text during day 2 of the draft. It's a little bit of an inside joke, but I'll bring everyone inside. You and I and Jonathan Mayo, your colleague, have been working together for the past, probably 8 years or so on day 2 coverage and day 3. But day 2 is a monster. We would do 6-ish hours of live coverage.
Yeah, 6 hours, it seems. Maybe it's 5, but it's 8 rounds of the draft to pick a minute. It'll be very weird not having you around. I mean, I think last year, Scott, we did, the home run derby for the high school kids and the futures game, and then day 2 of the draft and day 3 of the draft. But yeah, it's kind of fast and furious. A lot going on in Seattle, and we'll both be working, just not together this year. It's a little bit sad, but I'll soldier on.
Yes, thank you. I miss my dude, Jim.
Jim, what's up, man? Todd Frazier here. How's everything?
Good. Just got to Seattle last night. Going to check out the my schedule's a little bit confused. High school All-America game today. That's what's on tap. So I'm going to check out the high school All-Star game today. That'll be played this afternoon.
Pierzynski and Kratz are there from our side. So give them a hello and
coaching,
get a scouting
right?
report. They're 2 of them are coaches. Yep, yeah. They're coaches. So make sure you get some inside info from those guys.
I will. I'm not doing the broadcast. I just get to sit back and watch. So.
Hey, so I want to dive right into the draft here because this is the exciting part. I think it's starting to kind of get a lot more fun to watch, a lot more in tuned, just like the other drafts are on TV. For you, who do you think is going to go number 1? And then I have a second question to back that up to seeing what your answer will be.
Okay. The tricky part is the baseball draft is not just about ability. It's about signability and managing your bonus pool. So you don't always take the best guy or who you think is the best guy, because you might want to take a guy who's a little bit less expensive and then use that money to sign other guys later in the draft who maybe fall. My gut right now, and I reserve the right to change this up until the time of the draft, is I think Florida outfielder Wyatt Langford might be making a little bit of a run here at the number 1 pick. And he hadn't been talked about a lot until the last week. I mean, he was known as one of the top 5 prospects in this draft. We have him ranked number 3. Great year for Florida. Probably the best power hitter available in this draft. Got to the College World Series finals. And everybody was focusing on the LSU guys, Dylan Cruz and Paul Skeens. And I'm starting to suspect, not that the Pirates are trying, they going cheap and saving money is their primary goal. But Wyatt Langford is not that. He's a different type of player. But as a prospect, he's not that far removed from Dylan Cruz. And he may be easier to sign and let you do more damage later in the draft. So my gut right now is Wyatt Langford.
All right, so now my second question, that the Pirates are drafting first pick, right? So they're still in a playoff hunt, right or wrong? Right. So for me, why wouldn't they draft Paul Skeens right away, knowing that they could probably use him in the next couple months here coming up to help them kickstart them going forward in the playoff push?
Yeah, I mean, the one question is how much Skeens would have left in the tank in terms of putting him in the big leagues, because he's pitched more innings than he ever has before. He's had a little bit of a layoff, probably about a month by the time he signs. So it might be a little bit easier said than done. That said, I mean, he is very advanced. I would take him number 1 also. Even if you can't use him this year, I just think pitchers like that come along once in a decade if you're lucky in the draft. I mean, it's unbelievable fastball command, unbelievable slider. The changeup looked incredible in his first College World Series start. Throws a ton of strikes. He's physical. They didn't even use him as a hitter, but he's a two-way guy who was the only player when he was at Air Force as a sophomore who was double figures in wins and home runs. He would be my pick. I just wrote a story that went up on our site today. I think he's the second best pitching prospect in draft history. I mean, that goes back almost 60 years now. Second best only to Steven Strasburg, and it's really close. So I'm with you, Todd. I would take him number 1 just because of the rarity of the talent. If as a bonus you can use him in the big leagues this year, sure. But even if I have to wait till next year, that would be the guy I would take number 1 overall.
Hold on, Jim. I think Lo Cain's muted. Lo.
Hey, Jim, it's Lorenzo Cain here. Can you hear me?
I can. How's it going?
All right. Quick question from me. I'm all about showing the outfielders love. I was an outfielder myself, obviously. But to me, I enjoy watching guys that can do a little bit of everything. And in your opinion, who do you think the best all-around outfielder out of, let me see, we got Wyatt Langford, Walker Jenkins, I think Dylan Cruz. Who do you think the best all-around outfielder?
Yeah, the 4 outfielders that are kind of in that mix for the number 1 pick, I actually think it's Max Clark, who's a high school outfielder from Indiana. I think he's got the most rounded tool set. He probably has a little bit less power, or he does have less power than the other 3 guys, but still probably going to be at least average power. But he can hit. It's a well above average runner. It's a well above average arm. It's a well above average center fielder. So he's actually the most well-rounded. It's just, he could go number 1. Like, he'd been the hot rumor if the Pirates looked to do some sort of discount deal that he might be the most discountable of those guys in the top 5. But he's also a very, very talented player. Yeah, it's one of the cool things about the draft this year is all 4 of those outfielders and Paul Skeens in a normal draft. I think those guys in a lot of years would be considered, any of them, the number 1 prospect. So it gives even if the Pirates do a deal with somebody, they're still getting a player who's worthy of a typical draft being the number 1 pick.
My question to you next would be, who do you think in this whole draft, it doesn't have to be the first pick, it doesn't have to be the 30th pick, who do you think right now getting selected by a team has the best chance of making the big leagues right away and to help a ball club?
Yeah, I mean, that would be Paul Skeens. I mean, I don't think teams typically do that. It's not as common as it used to be. But I just think it's Paul Skeens because the stuff plays. I mean, you're talking about a guy who throws, and I know there's going to be an adjustment. He's pitching every 5th day in pro ball as opposed to every 7th day in college, and the season's longer. But you're talking about a guy who all season was pumping 98 to 102 miles an hour with command, with a slider that would rank among the better sliders in the big leagues, and feel for a changeup. He didn't use it much because it's giving guys a break when he does. But we saw in the College World Series, his first start, the slider wasn't as effective as it usually is. So he was just, throwing changeups, and that thing was dancing all over the place. So he's got the stuff, he's got the durability, he's got the command. So I think it's definitely Paul Skeens. If we take Paul Skeens out of the mix, the two guys that would come to mind, there's Rhett Lauder from Wake Forest, who's a very polished pitcher. We saw him match up with Paul Skeens in a classic pitching duel in the College World Series semifinals. Neither one of them gave up a run. Tommy White hit the game-winning homer for LSU in the 11th inning. But Rhett's really polished, really good feel, and I think he's going to move very quickly. And then from a hitting standpoint, I would say Dylan Cruz. I mean, Dylan Cruz has performed for 3 years in college. He's a very good hitter, very good approach, uses the opposite field already. He's not one of these guys who's trying to lift and turn everything. He's already a very polished hitter, pretty good athlete too. So I don't think he's going to need much time. I don't think you'd put him straight in the big leagues. But if you did put Dylan Cruz straight in the big leagues, I think he'd survive. I don't think he'd necessarily be a difference maker from day one. But I think he'd be, be an adjustment because he'd be facing better pitching. But I think he'd be able to survive because he's that good of a hitter.
Jim, big picture question for you based off what Todd just asked. I think one of the ways that the MLB draft can continue to become more appealing is by selling fans on how quickly some of these prospects, even if it's not same season, can be impacting your ball club. We see teams as aggressive as ever, I would say, in calling up prospects at a very young age. I mean, and also some of them shining like Yuri Perez. And also I think even if they come up and they do struggle and they go back down, it's not the end of the world. So I'm saying this because do you think that's the number one way for the draft to continue to get more casual fan appeal in competition with drafts like the NFL and the NBA draft, where, of course, the top picks are right away making a major contribution? Or do you have any other ideas, too, in terms of how we can make sure that more people are tuning in and paying attention to draft prospects?
Yeah, I think there's two things. I think what you said, Scott, is 100% correct, because if I'm a casual fan of a team, it's interesting when the guys get drafted in the first round on Sunday, but I want to know when he's going to help my team, when he's going to help my fantasy team. It's, you're going to have to probably wait a couple years for that to happen. But I do think guys are going through the minors quicker. And when that happens more often, it does get fans more excited. Like, hey, maybe this guy isn't far off. And I think the other thing is, I think as the popularity of college baseball continues to grow, and it does, I think that helps because your football and your basketball players, look, we all watch the tournament in March. We all are watching college football bowl games and playoffs and, games throughout the fall. The college baseball, it's amazing. I've been covering this stuff for 30 years. How many, great ballparks there are, how many great programs there are. When I started, you could probably look at, 12 or 15 schools and know, okay, the College World Series teams are going to come from those 12 or 15 schools almost every year. And it's different now. We saw Oral Roberts go from a 4 seed to Omaha this year. So I think as college baseball continues to get better and they have great facilities and they build more fans, and you can watch almost all the games on TV now on various sports networks, I think that helps too. But I think those are the two biggest differences between our sport and football and basketball, is that those players are better known as amateurs and they're going to step right in at the major league level, where we don't see that very often in baseball.
Hey, I want to switch gears a little bit, talk a little bit about Elly De La Cruz. Did you see this coming, and where did you have him ranked? Because he is taking baseball by storm right now, and I'm a huge, huge fan of this guy.
Yeah, no, he is. I mean, he was we graduate guys off of our list. So I don't know if he's graduated yet. If he hasn't, he's been in the top 5 this year coming in. What's amazing about him is he was not a big ticket international signing. He wasn't one of these guys like Wander Franco or Vladimir Guerrero Jr., where they sign and everybody's all, excited, and then those guys become stars right away. He was a guy who kind of flew under the radar. He came back from the pandemic. I don't think anybody really knew who he was, and he just keeps getting better and better and better. I mean, he's got to have the best individual tools in the big leagues, right? I can't think of anybody who can do all the things he can do with as much flair. And, I think the thing that surprised me the most about him at the big league level is, he can be kind of an aggressive free swinger. And sometimes, when you get to the big leagues, for the first time, that can be exploited. And so far, people haven't figured out how to get him out. I'm trying to think the last guy, it's a different look, but it's almost like the last guy who was this exciting. And I don't think he's a hitter quite in the same class, was Mike Trout, who could do all the different. And Elly De La Cruz not that it's the most important tool, but he could throw a lot better than Mike Trout could. It's crazy. And this guy just kept getting better and better, and he still continues to get better and better.
Who's the next Ellie De La Cruz? Who's another guy that's on your list on the top 100 or beyond where you're like, he's going to continue to move up. He's got the potential, right? I think the concern was when he gets up to the show, they're like, oh, he's going to strike out a ton. Yeah, he's striking out, but he's fine when he makes contact. Is there anyone else lurking through the minor leagues right now that's just a monster with potential to make an impact like this right from the jump?
Yeah, making that kind of impact right away doesn't happen too often. But like, I look at a guy like James Wood, who's in the national system, who's big and physical and has all kinds of tools. It's funny. I don't think he's as explosive as Ellie De La Cruz, because I don't think anybody's as explosive as Ellie De La Cruz. But James Wood's probably going to be the best player the the Nationals get out of the Juan Soto trade with the Padres. He's in Double-A right now. Adjusting to that level, but he kind of is in that mold. Jackson Chourio of the Brewers is another guy in that mold. Both those guys are scuffling a little bit in Double-A right now, but they both have exciting, well-rounded set of tools. Although again, I don't think anybody can match Ellie De La Cruz.
Hey, I want to ask this question next for you. Take the top 20 out of it here, okay? Top 20 signing guys, pretty much are going to go here or there, whether somebody drops, somebody doesn't. Is there a guy on your radar that might slip in the first round or two, and all of a sudden is a guy that you'd be like, you know what, this guy's going to make an impact? Like who do you think is one of those guys that will make a huge impact in the fourth, fifth rounds per se?
I don't know about fourth, fifth round, but one of my favorite players, I could go on and on, but like a couple of my favorite players, and they both coincidentally are from Mississippi. There's a high school shortstop named Cooper Pratt, who I got some comps coming into the year. He had a great showcase circuit, kind of a right-handed hitting version of Gunnar Henderson. They both played at private schools in the Deep South. They were both, these physical guys, with projectable frames coming out of high school. It's unclear if Cooper is going to go high enough to sign him away from University of Mississippi. But I think he's a guy who could slide into the second round. And 3 or 4 years down the road, we're wondering why he lasted as long as he did, kind of like with Gunnar Henderson. He's a guy who intrigues me, and he played really well at the draft combine. And he's not, he's a big physical guy. Kemp Alderman from Ole Miss, I just think has some of the best raw power in this draft. He's a pretty good athlete for a guy who goes about 6'3", I think it's 6'3", 250. But he's actually fairly athletic for that size. He's also caught in the past. He pitches a little bit. He's got some arm strength on the mound. And, it's funny. I think he's probably going late second, early third round. And if you told me one day that we look up and Kemp Alderman's hitting 30 home runs in the big league season, he's got that kind of power. So he's kind of a sleeper I like too.
Okay, Jim, I got an Ohtani question for you. I'm not going to ask you to make trade predictions or give me rumors or anything like that. Ken Rosenthal's all over it, but
he's the best.
I can?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll leave that to Ken. Yeah.
Yes. But if Shohei does get traded, right? Let's say the Angels tumble a little bit the next couple of weeks and Trout's out, of course. I want to know from a prospect perspective, how far down the top 100 you'd have to go to be like, yeah, I'm going to give you my top guy. For example, Baltimore, you have Jackson Holiday. Let's just say I'm Perry, I'm calling you straight up. Would you do it? Right? Milwaukee, Jackson Chourio, straight up. Yeah, I'm going over. These are the top guys. These are guys that are projected to be, stars in the game. Ellie's still on the list. I know you said he's going to graduate soon. Let's put him aside because he's in the bigs now. But just going down the list of legit teams that have like Jordan Lawler, another top 10 prospect. Diamondbacks get a call. Hey, Lawler for Ohtani. You evaluating these prospects, how far down a list do you go? And maybe obviously you're valuing prospects more than some of our MLB insiders, but just wanted to get your take on that as we go through the list. Rangers, Evan Carter, top 10 prospect. Like, where are we going here? Bobby Miller for the Dodgers is a top 10 prospect according to Pipeline.
Okay, let me qualify. So are we just doing a 1-for-1 trade, or am I giving you?
Yeah, let's do a 1-for-1.
So Perry Manasian's calling me and he's saying, you can have Shohei straight up for any of these guys. The tricky part is, I don't know if I can re-sign Shohei. So that's a tricky part.
Let's assume not. You're making a run just right now, and that's why I'm taking other prospects away. It's just 1-for-1. We don't have to fill it up with it's not the Soto deal from last year.
Right. And I'm renting him. I'm just getting him, and I'm probably losing him at the end of the year, and I don't get a pick because he traded.
Will you do it for any of those guys? Would you do Holiday?
You know what?
Would you do Churio? Would you do Lawler?
I would look at it from the standpoint, since I'm doing it, I'm renting him, Scott.
Yep.
Do I have a chance to win the World Series?
Yes.
Because
if
I'm
World
the
Series
Orioles,
contenders.
I can't trade you Jackson Holiday and just make the playoffs and then Shohei leaves. But so I think the first guy I would trade, because it's a team that's a chance to win the World Series, God, he'd look great. How about the Texas Rangers? I love Evan Carter. He's one of my favorite prospects. Great kid. Love Evan Carter. But if I'm the Rangers and it's just 1-for-1 and I can add Shohei to my rotation and to my lineup, I'm doing that. So I would say the Rangers at 7, and that's really, like I said, dictated by chance to win. I can't give you Jackson Churio. I can't give you Jackson Holiday. If, that probably puts me in the playoffs, but I don't necessarily think I'm going all the way and winning a World Series.
Interesting. What about Bobby Miller for the Dodgers? They have a chance.
The tough one for that would be if I'm the Dodgers, I feel like I'm going to sign Shohei anyway in the offseason, right? So
yeah, maybe.
Why do I want to give you Bobby Miller? That one might be tough just because of all the pitching injuries right now. They need Bobby Miller. But the Dodgers would be interesting. I probably would do that, because if I'm the Dodgers, I might feel like, look, now we have the inside track to sign him before he even goes on the free agent market. So sure, I'll give you Shohei Ohtani. I'll give you Bobby Miller for Shohei Ohtani.
And remember, Shohei pitches too, so he can fill Bobby's spot if he's trying to pitch.
Right, but I need more
it.
pitching. I need more pitching. I'd rather add him to the rotation. Bobby Miller's one of my few healthy pitchers. But yeah, I like it. So yes, I'll give you Bobby Miller.
That was fun. Go ahead, Lo.
Hey, Jim, what's going on?
Hey.
Just another quick question. I know it's been a while. It's been a long time. But I would love to know where you had Todd and myself ranked.
Wow. Well, I will say, when I was at Baseball America back in the day, and Jonathan Mayo and I still do this MLB, we divide the guys up geographically. So I've never had the Northeast, and I never had Florida. It's funny. I can still remember at Baseball America, you couldn't write a Todd Frazier scouting report without mentioning, Tom's River in the Little League World Series. And Lorenzo, with you, what I remember, I doubt we had you ranked out of high school, but I know we had you ranked as one of the better draft and follows, because I can't remember the JUCO anymore, Lorenzo. What JUCO did you go to?
Tallahassee Community College.
Right,
yes.
because you were drafted out of Florida and then you went to TCC. So I remember that, but so I can't remember specifically because I never wrote those scouting reports on you guys.
It's okay.
Basically, Lo, he's saying you're old.
We're all old.
Now, let me ask this: where would you have him and I ranked in this draft right now? Are we going top 5 or
knowing what he knows about your careers?
No, just
tools.
What tools? Tools and charisma.
Yeah,
wow.
I mean, I don't know if I have you top 5 because I think all 5 of those guys could go number 1. But Lorenzo was one of the more incredible draft and follow stories. Limited baseball experience in high school and great projection. If I was looking at him at TCC and could see those tools, you both would be first rounders. You probably heard this, Todd. The knock on you always was, there's an armbar in the swing. I'm not sure that's going to play. It seems like it played pretty well.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, I remember Keith Law, man. I want to sit down and talk with him. He talked some smack about me on that Baseball America.
We got to get him on.
Not that he keeps receipts that are 20 years old.
I got a receipt on him. He had me pick 74th. I went 34th, Jim. How about that?
So there you go. Well, Keith wasn't with Baseball Americas, but I know we wrote about the armbar. I'm sure you heard that.
Yeah,
everybody's like,
all
the armbar, not sure how it's going to play.
You're right.
And it played perfectly fine. So
appreciate. Hey,
it worked
thank
out
you so much, man. That makes me feel better now.
There you go.
Yeah,
good.
Feel better.
Yeah.
Good feels Friday. Hey, Jim, rest up. I know you'll need it. I'll be watching.
There's no rest, Scott. There's no rest. I'm literally going to go over to watch the high school All-America game in a moment. So there's no rest.
I meant coffee up, and
okay.
I will see you out in Seattle.
Good. Hope to see all you guys. Thanks.
Yes. Thank you, Jim. Really appreciate you. This was awesome. Jim Callis, who's on draft coverage, and you can follow him at Jim Callis MLB. He'll put out a ton of articles and content in addition to what he's talking about, which was great. We'll go over the poll results. Who do you think's going number 1 and then a new poll on Alek Manoah next.
Forgot.
Back on Stadium, Braun, Frazier, Lo Cain. Let's put a close to the first poll. Who you think's going number one in the draft? Dylan Cruz leading the pack. I voted Skeens. At least that's who I would pick.
Me
but
too.
Yeah, there you go. All right, dude. Generational talent, as Jim Callis just said. You can scroll back, or we'll post some clips about that Jim Callis interview. It was great. Second poll question of the day related to tonight. Scan the QR code or hit watchstadium.com/foul territory. Get involved. What do we think Alek Manoah will do tonight? Options: A, kill it. B, he's coming back too soon. C, not perform his best. C is like fine. I need to see more, but I'm okay right now. So vote now, and we'll go over results later. And we might want to talk about that a little more at the moment, as it is time for last minute game time. Check out the Gametime app, hit up last minute tickets, and flash deals for maybe the All-Star game or the Home Run Derby out in Seattle. Otherwise, if you've got some action coming up this weekend, check it out. So what we like to do here, pick a game that we would hit last minute tickets for if you just suddenly decide, Lo Cain, I'm getting away from the tornadoes and all the bullshit going on out in Oklahoma. And I'm like, Lo, private jets pulling up. Gametime's setting us up. They got great deals on seats. Where do you want to go tonight?
Great question. You know,
Can I talk you into one, or you got one?
No, I'm really intrigued. Like I said, I ended up picking the Miami Philly game.
Okay.
I'm intrigued in watching Wheeler and is it
Alcantara?
Yes. I'm intrigued to watch that pitching matchup. I see two dominant horses on the mound, and I had a feeling they're both going to go out there and get it done, and it's going to be very low scoring game.
Look at the Phillies trolling the Marlins right now. And that's a good looking pitching matchup right there too. And that's why I think the Phillies are always so dangerous, is like Wheeler, Ranger Suarez is great. Nola, you're getting basically their top three guys plus Taijuan Walker. They've really got a solid 1 through 4 right now in their rotation. So, okay, cool. I'm sold. Where are you going with the ticket
that works
tonight?
perfect for me, because We're going to take the same flight. I just need you to get me a parachute. When we hit Tampa, I'm going to jump off that thing because I'm going to head to Tampa, go see Atlanta play Tampa Bay, the two best teams in their respective leagues. We got Charlie Morton versus Tyler Glass now. Ooh, baby. Get it going right now, boys. Two best teams in the league. Who's not going to that game?
Hell yeah.
Pick me back up afterwards, and we'll come back home.
Will do.
How about you, Scotty? What do you think?
I was back and forth just to, I'm kind of like, I'm going to be around so many people. So I was just going to fly solo either to San Diego for Verlander and Darvish. Two dudes have been watching for a long time, star power. Plus the Mets and Padres are having a week. Mets are undefeated in the month of July. So I want to see them. And then the other half of me is like, do I go to Detroit for Manoah? Because I just want to see what he looks like when he's back. But I'm going San Diego. I feel like the weather's probably a little better in San Diego and the vibes out there. So I'll take Mets Padres for my game.
We don't have enough gas for that. You have to get your own
plane.
plane.
I'm going to get my own jet.
Right.
Way out west, you know.
JV or you can send me their jets because I'm pretty sure they can handle it. The combined earnings between those two is probably like close to $1 billion.
Yeah.
So, a lot of good ones tonight on the slate as we approach the All-Star break. So make sure you check out Gametime's app or gametime.co. If you're stressed out about buying last-minute tickets, forget about it, right? Or can you say it? Can you say that word, please? If you're stressed out about last-minute tickets,
Forget about it.
Okay? Enough already. Flash deals, last-minute tickets, easy to find. You go set up your seats, as you can see. Move your phone around to see where you're sitting. This applies to not just sports, but concerts, comedy, theater, the whole deal. Favorite part is the game time guarantee. You'll always get the best price. If you find tickets in the same section and row for less, Game Time's like, cool, we'll credit you 110% of the difference. You're not beating that. And also you can buy tickets in a matter of seconds. It's 2 taps and you're good to go. Tickets sent directly to your phone. You don't have to dig through any BS emails. Go for it. Snag the tickets without the stress with Game Time. Download the app. And here's the key. If you're new to the party, FT Live is your code for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. You redeem that code when you sign in. You enter the redeem code part in all caps. FT Live, $20 off. Download the app. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Coming up next, a little more on tonight's games. We'll see if we can all stay pretty damn hot with our picks. You know who's 4-1? That guy. On the other side of the screen.
Jesse.
In case you missed it, here's some images from yesterday's action in Major League Baseball.
And now back to Foul Territory.
You're seeing these poll results for Alek Manoah. What do you think's going down tonight? Bit too soon, leading the pack by a very heavy margin right now. Over 50% of the vote saying, not there yet. Wanted to see a little bit more in the minors, or maybe they took Lo Cain's advice. Like, can we wait a little over a week from now till after the All-Star break? I wonder what the strategy is there.
I think they would have if they didn't have a doubleheader.
You think they need him?
I think they say, you know what, let's bring him up. Maybe we'll catch lightning in a bottle, and the dude just steps up. But
plus, it's Detroit.
Only time will tell.
And it's Detroit. It's what, bottom three, probably offense in the bigs.
Yeah, but they play hard, man. They've been playing.
No,
hard.
I know. It's not nothing.
No, it's not nothing. It's a major league team. Go out there. If you don't have your stuff, you're going to get hit. I don't care if you're playing the worst team in the league.
That's true. Yes. That's true. Let's do our picks. Our Bet MGM locks for Friday. First, we backtrack to Thursday. Boom. Banger. How'd Cleveland do?
They did well, man. 6-1. I'll take that all day.
They ran him. Bobby didn't hit his strikeouts.
You won
early. My gosh.
I told you there was something fishy about that line, man. That they tried baiting you to maybe.
I was thinking run line, but no, exactly. Bradish, I'm like, dude, I don't even need your 6 shutout innings. The Orioles won 14-1. They had 20 hits. We might get into it later. And your boy Severino's just searching for it right now. And until he finds it, I got to go against him. Yeah. That's how you win dough right now.
Do what you got to do.
Yeah, 14-1 in the dub there. So updated lines. Lo Cain's 4-1, by the way. You know, he's not on all the time, but when he is, he's effective. And he's up. You're good. You're above 500, and you're making money. And so am I. Let's climb, baby. I'm 10 games over now.
I'm back over 500.
You're back over?
Welcome.
Everyone's successful. Again, if you follow us, this is real. We keep receipts every single day, year round. And I believe every one of our hosts right now is in the plus money-wise. So, Lo, you have the best win percentage. So I'm going to let you go first on your pick. Your BetMGM lock for Friday is?
I'm going to go with, it's going to be a pitching matchup, there in Phillies against the Marlins. And I'm going Zach Wheeler, very dominant guy on the bump. I think it's over, is it 5 strikeouts?
Over 6.5, so you got 7 or more.
6.5 strikeouts.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the over on that. Is it -130? 130. Okay. All right. I'm gonna take that bet, and I'm expecting great things from Wheeler tonight for sure.
Marlins offense has been a little quieter again lately, which is always the concern with them.
That's a heavy fastball right there.
Hell
that
yeah.
dude's got some
That's the truth.
Slow, steady, and then pop. I'm going to ride the wave, baby. Ride with me. That's what I'm going to do. I'm sticking with the Guardians again, man. I'm going -1 and a hook at +105 today. That's what scares me a little bit because they were negative on the money line yesterday. I'm going to ride it until they stop. They're facing the Royals. Sometimes when the Royals gets on the wave, they lose, and when they lose big. I'm going with it. I'm just sticking with it. Savali on the mound, -1.5, +105, 300 to win, 350. Dean.
Let's go. Okay. I'll go 100 down to win 125 on the Phillies runs total. I'll go 4.5 for them is what I selected. Sandy Alcantara has not been the same this year. And even if he is solid, I could still see the Phillies getting to the Marlins bullpen. They've been tested quite a bit lately. So I just like the way the Phils generally have been swinging the bats. They were a little quiet yesterday in their win, but it was a huge win for the boys. I think it was 3-1 was the final. So I can see them coming in, putting up a big line. I was tempted to go a little higher. I might even, that's my lock, but I might even touch like a 5.5 or a 6.5 with their runs because you'll get real good money on that.
Well, look at those pictures. We got me and Lo Cain and I smiling, and you.
That's my poker face. That's my poker face.
What's going on over there? Take it.
That was my serious poker face, Lo.
He's in Vegas.
Exactly. I was.
I think you're looking at somebody's cards, man. Look like
I was trying, dude. I needed it. I needed the help. No, I did okay. I lasted like 7 hours there, but dude beat me on. I had the better hand, but he beat me on. I think it was the turn. Whatever. Anyway, you receive a bonus bet when you log into the BetMGM sportsbook every Friday for the next 3 weeks. Still going on here, and that claim period extends actually through Saturday and Sunday. So you have 72 hours to log in, and then you use that bonus bet after you log in. All eligible players will be awarded that bonus bet of a predetermined value, and bonus bets will be awarded in all live states except for New York and Nevada. So make sure you check that out. I think we have time to run our Nerfy Yerfy picks right now. So let's do that too. Who wants to start? I'll go first.
Yeah, you go.
We've been picking on this game a lot. Toronto and Detroit. You've got Manoah. I don't know what I'm going to see, so I could see Detroit doing something. I'm going Yerfy. Yes, run first inning in tonight's game. The other side of it that I actually feel even more confident in is I like the Blue Jays, the way they're swinging the bats lately. They've got the lineup intact too. I was looking through like which teams were missing a lot of their guys and which teams are pretty healthy right now. Like Toronto's not missing much. Their lineup's there. They're ready to go off. So maybe Vladdy Jr. gets a little like pop for me in the first inning to get ready for the Derby. So it's against Alex Baedo, kind of okay stuff for him, and a Toronto team coming off a doubleheader sweep. So it's at -120. I'll take the Yerfy there.
Same thing with me, -120. I'm going Atlanta, Tampa Bay. Again, really good pitching matchup. Not going to see many runs scored there. With that being said, they might score in the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth. Just not the first. All right. Yes, it's going to be a good matchup.
And I'm staying with the Phillies and the Marlins. So, like I say, another great pitching matchup, and I'm expecting a low-scoring game there. So, I'm looking at a 2-1 ball game there. So,
wow,
we'll see what happens. Yes.
Oh, so Lo's fading me a little bit.
Yeah.
I need the Phillies to score at least 5 runs, Lo.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's
no. You're not feeling it. Pitching battle in the pitcher's ballpark tonight.
I've been locked in all year, Scott. I've been locked in.
You have. Dude's 4-1. He's got Rob Todd father over the wall confidence right now.
Man. Please don't show that video on the highlight.
I love it. All right, hour number 2 coming up. Flip over to the Foul Territory YouTube channel, wherever you're watching. Appreciate you watching on Stadium, on the app, wherever you're getting the stream right now, or on YouTube. We'll continue the conversation. We'll chat with you if you have questions for us or for either of our guests coming up. So Lance Lynn, and over here, I'll give you a quick over-under. 2.5 F-bombs for Lance Lynn. Over. Low?
Way over.
Way over.
Way
wow.
over.
Okay.
It's at -140 though.
It's at okay. You're baiting me. And then Matt Strahm, who pitched great yesterday for the Phillies, and the Phillies bullpen's been awesome. He's going to join us. We're going to rip some packs with him when he swings by. So all of that coming up in about a minute. We'll see you on FT's YouTube.
So I can be free. I take the weight on my shoulders. I feel the sky come down on me, and I can't hold it much longer. Gotta let go so I can be free. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
FT Live Hour 2 for you on Foul Territory's YouTube channel. And we'll show it again at the end of the show, the pretty graphic, but just want to let you know, for the first time in Foul Territory history, we will be on a Sunday for hours covering the MLB Draft in a very unique way. We'll take your questions. We'll talk to draft picks. We'll be teamed up with Baseball America. So come hang, please. We'll be in Seattle. And then also we have shows in Seattle at MLB Player House on Monday and Tuesday for hours. We'll have legends on We'll have all-stars, prospects, futures game, the whole deal. We'll have guys swinging by. It's going to be really cool. So check it out. And same thing, we'll take questions. And then Tuesday night, we're going to be watching the game along with you all as we kind of give you our own version of the broadcast of the All-Star game. And that's also on our YouTube channel. That'll be from the Emerald Queen Casino, EQC, out in Seattle. Okay, or that one's in Tacoma. The rest of the stuff is in Seattle. Okay, so I want to hop right to the hot corner and show you a very interesting clip that popped up. And thanks to, and I don't have the tweet up, but I'll shout you out later, one of our loyal FT fans who just did a little when he saw the clip. Someone posted it. He just gave me a little Scott Braun. That's the way to do it if you want us to break something down. I caught it late last night, and he's like basically saying, you guys going to break this down? Because this thing's not getting a lot of pub, and we'd love to get the player perspective here because, I mean, I'll say it. It's a dirty play. Let's show you what Chas McCormick did on during last night's game against the Mariners. Look at the left hand completely out going for the swipe. And it didn't work, but I'm actually surprised it didn't get more coverage because, you know, if a guy like steps on a heel even by accident, we're all over it. Like wasn't that A-Rod all over again trying to smack the ball?
A-Rod did the full swipe. He kind of just tried grabbing the arm there.
It wasn't that, like it was.
It came side. A-Rod went down.
Right.
Bronson went to tag. Boom, popped it out of his glove. But you can hurt somebody doing that, man. That's my biggest concern. You grab somebody's arm like that, push it back, all of a sudden you got a shoulder problem. I'm hoping it just was a reaction. I think that's the biggest thing. I hope it is. I mean, just a gut reaction to do that, but I don't think that should be on your mind to do something like that. That's not a really good play by him. It's not a good look. And, you know, I don't know what you do next, but for real, that's something. If I'm on first base and I didn't know, maybe – because usually when you catch the ball – something hits you in the arm, like, oh, maybe he ran into the baseline too far. But if I look back on that, we're going to have a conversation the next day. Like, yo, dog, you could have really injured me, man. Like, what the heck's going on here? So, yeah, that's not a good look for him.
Oh, man. For me, like, I'm kind of speechless right now. I really don't know how to react to that. You know, it's definitely a first for me. You know, I don't understand how your first reaction is to swing and hit the guy in the arm or shoulder or wherever it may be. But, yeah, while we were playing, Todd, you know, you do something like that, you know, you got to keep your head on the swivel the next day. You know, you might catch one in the ribs. So we'll see what happens. But, yeah, I don't understand what made him go to the extent to take a swipe at the baseball or whatever he was doing. But, yeah, you just got to keep your heads up today. We'll see what happens.
Okay. So you wouldn't be pissed off? That smile wouldn't turn upside down if you were playing first base and dude tried to swipe at you?
Yeah, I would be upset, but that's why I'm also stating that, hey, you might have to turn into one, lean into one today. You know, that's just how we played when I was coming up. So, you know, who knows what's going to happen? But at the end of the day, for him to do that, you know, I'm sure as a teammate, I would be upset. I would be ticked off. But like once again, you know, it's up for your teammates to step up for you and also step in.
So I don't think you were on the team yet, but remember the Manny Machado play? That was against Milwaukee.
Yeah, I was there.
Play. You were on the team?
Yeah, I was there.
You were already there? Okay.
That was my first year there. He stepped on Aggie's foot and it didn't go over well. It was a lot of trash talking in the dugout. We were not a fan of that. That was, to me, that's a sign of disrespect, and I'm big on respect. And you know, and luckily it was the playoffs during that time, so it was hard to kind of, you know, throw at somebody or you know, kind of get in a fight because, you know, we're trying to win a game there. So yeah, it was tough. It's tough to be a part of, but at the end of the day, things like that just cannot happen.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing is here, like, they might, even if they by chance do throw, give a little bow tie, it might not even be at him. It might be at one of their better players too as well. So you're putting not only yourself at risk, but you're putting your teammates at risk too. So that's the biggest thing I would worry about. You got Castillo on the mound today. He throws upper 90s. I mean, it's different. You got Scott Service. He's an old veteran guy too as well. Like, listen, you know, one gets away, gets in the back of the ribs or the back. Okay, so be it. So I know that's baseball though, man. Hey, listen, you don't see it happen too often now. I think they're trying to crack down on it, but that's the game within the game, man. You basically could have hurt one of our players, and now, there might be a repercussion. That's all I'm saying. But it's a rarity nowadays, Scott. I don't know why. It's something they're trying to be safe with it, but a ball might get away.
You would have said something because you would have known. I mean, dude's just running down the line normal, and then all of a sudden your hand gets smacked. Wouldn't you have said something? Would you turn around and been like, dude, what's going on?
I'm like, yo, dog, what's up?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, what are you thinking? So, and then as a teammate of his, I would have been like, dude, what the heck were you doing? Like, what's the problem? Like, I don't know. I don't think they have any problems together with each other. I just think I'm hoping and praying it was just a reaction. It was a terrible reaction, but it was just a reaction.
Here's my thing. So I know there's a little bit of a difference in the plays, but it's a pretty similar intent. After Machado made that play, right? You have some guys still that are like, they'll never get off like, oh, he's a punk, that's a dirty play, all that shit. And I know it's the playoffs, so it's got more of a spotlight on it, but what's the difference? It's the same type of play. Like, you're doing something, you're going out of your way to basically commit like a technical or flagrant foul, if you'd call it in the NBA. Like, I think you should get maybe in trouble for it, but also I don't see the difference. It's a dirty play.
Yeah.
There's no way you can talk me into like, oh, my hand just was floating out there. Like, you tried to swipe the freaking ball.
He's lucky he didn't get hurt, because if he got hurt, it would have been even bigger problem what happened then. Yes. Might not happen today, or might not happen tomorrow, but that's something in baseball. As you know, Lo Cain, we don't forget when things like this happen. Down the road, you might see in a year or two. They could be teammates. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's just really not a good look, man. Just play the game, man. That's all. Play the game right.
Or if the baseball gets knocked out, Lo. If the baseball got knocked out, it would be covered everywhere right now.
Mm-hmm. And like Todd said, it's a big point because, like you said, now you're putting your teammates in jeopardy. Like, that's the most important thing. And like he said, you never know who can get hit at any time. So putting your teammates in jeopardy, I'm definitely not a fan of that. But like I said, I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe they'll just blow over and nothing will come of it. But I knew that the team I played with in Kansas City, that wouldn't fly for sure.
Oh, no. I always think back to the Kratz story about Salvi, where you guys were getting into it with some team, and Ned Yost goes, hey, like, we got to stop the fight. And I'm not going to do the Salvi voice because Kratz dominates it, but he was just like, they want to fight, we'll fight. Like, he just said, screw what Ned says. We're too tough for that. Let's do a Royals topic here on Hot Corner for a moment. Tough season for the ball club, and I miss Vinny Pasquantino's personality in the game. He's one of the better interviews. He's fun. He's a great tweeter, and he puts this one out there. Miss you. They did a promo just for Vinny this year, and unfortunately he's out for the rest of the season with the season-ending surgery. But it's one of my favorite promotions that I've seen in a long time in the game. Like, think about the length and the depths of how much they have to go down to pull off a promotion like this, Lo. This isn't just like, oh, we'll do something fun for a night, or, we'll spend a little money. They are paying someone every game to be out in the outfield just for Vinny Pasquantino at bats, and then he walks across like when Vinny walks across. When Vinny walks a lot. I mean, that is an A+ promotion.
Yes, you gotta love it. They're fully invested into promoting this. Hey, once you start, you gotta be all in. You gotta take this all the way throughout his entire career, and you just run with it because, like I say, it's an awesome promotion, and Kansas City know how to have fun with it.
Yeah, I think the best part is nobody else can take that away from them too. So listen, you can't reinvent it. That's what they did. Smart move. And you see all these little promotions that people do. You're like, oh my God, really? This is what you sit in a boardroom and do? This is a solid one.
That one's a win. Yeah, dude's got a job for as long as Vinny P's in the bigs, but he needs him back from the shoulder surgery. Get well soon, Vinny P. Next up, our friend Mike Petriello laying out what we were talking about. I believe it was in yesterday's show, how good Acuna is this year, running away with NL MVP. I said the strikeout percentage is down. I didn't realize it was this down. I mean, holy shit. Like, he was a mid-20s strikeout guy for most of his career. I mean, he's cut his K percentage in half, striking out 12% of the time, which is insane. That was really the one. If you said to me, hey, what's one thing if you could change anything about Ronald Acuna's game? I was like, well, I'd say he's a leadoff dude, plays great D, he's got an arm, he's got pop, he can run. I mean, he's going to probably lead the league in stolen bases. If he can cut down his strikeouts a little bit, that'd be great because he'll make even more contact. And I don't want him swinging on pitches outside of the zone. I want the quality contact. But, I mean, holy shit, 12%, that's among the best in baseball.
I wish I took his advice or whoever told him what to do because my percentage never went like that. It just went back up. I mean, good for him. He's an electric player. He's somebody that is going to wow every time he gets on the field. He's their straw that stirs the drink, and the Braves are just cruising because of him. He's the MVP in both the American National League right now. I feel like he's the MVP of all baseball. The stats he's putting up, he's got the arm, he's got the speed. He's going to make me look good and get 70 stolen bases, like I said, before the season starts. But he is that guy that is doing it right now. And Chipper Jones said it best a while back. He's the most electric, Brave to ever come up, and I'm starting to believe it too.
Mm-hmm. He's definitely a lot of fun to watch. I before the season started, I picked him to be my MVP. So, like I said, he's impressive. He's fun to watch. Everything you just said, Todd, spot on. I mean, what else can you ask for from a player? The things he's doing day in and day out to help that team win ball games. It's so much fun to watch. And we're not even at the All-Star break yet. That's the most impressive thing. So he's going to be a joy to watch the rest of this year for sure.
Lorenzo, what's your favorite part of his game? And then now that he's got the swing and miss to perfection, basically, what else could he do to improve? Because he's so damn young. He's in the prime of his career. He's clearly a guy that knows how to continue to get better as a big leaguer.
And that's when I was talking about earlier about the young prospects, the up-and-coming guys that coming in the draft or whatnot. I love watching well-rounded players. Guys that can hit homers, steal base, throw you out, play great defense. I guess the 5'2", 6'2" players. I love watching players do that. That's what I tried to emulate, and that's the kind of player I wanted to become. But he's doing it to a level that's just unreal right now. It's almost video game like numbers right now. So hat off to him. He's doing a great job. Finished strong for sure.
Anything you would change about his game? I mean,
No.
but okay, let's say you're his coach. You're just going to say, keep doing your thing. Like, if he comes to you and says, hey, I want to get better, what do I do? I mean, how do you fine tune a dude that's already this good?
I want to get better. I mean, I don't think. I mean, the only thing he could do is try and win the home run record right now. I mean, trying to get better. He's an on base machine. He was at one point getting on base over 50% of the time. They have a solid team. I wouldn't change a darn thing. He comes into the park, whatever he does, drinks his coffee, make sure it's set, make sure everything is set, available to this guy. When he gets in the cage, everybody get the hell out. This is the horse right here. This is the guy, El Caballo. He's the monster right here. Let him do his thing, and don't change a thing. His routine stay the same. He doesn't want to hit on the field. He's not going to hit on the field. Just let him do his thing. That's it.
Don't touch anything.
Yeah.
Also in the incredible category, Yuri Perez, who I want to start talking about more just because of what he's putting together. And sometimes it's like you're in Miami and maybe you don't get a ton of attention. It's a very distracting city. We went over that a little bit with AJ Puck yesterday, the Marlins closer. He's focused, but Yuri Perez has gone 5+ innings and allowed 1 or no runs in 8 of his first 11 career starts. And this is from Sarah Langs. Most such outings of any pitcher in his first 11 career appearances, in the modern era, right? Since at least 1901. This dude is 20 years old. If he came up and wasn't good at all, we would have been like, that's all right. He's 20. Send him back down. He's not ready yet. He's super tall. Get it all together mechanically. He's got it. He's mechanically sound already. And actually, I think what he's going to do is make a lot of money for future star pitchers in the minor leagues. I say that because I think some teams are hesitant to call up a pitcher that young. And they baby pitchers nowadays in the minor leagues anyway, right? It's like, okay, you're only 20, you get 3 innings and 60 pitches, okay? And maybe when you're 22, you can pitch more towards a full game. So he comes up, he's pitching in the bigs, he's got success right away. If I'm another ball club and I'm like, this dude's 20 and nobody can touch him in the minors, like let's push him up quicker, because I think sometimes dudes waste bullets in the minor leagues if you're a pitcher, right? Like your arm is a ticking time bomb to an extent. At some point, most guys go through injuries. If a guy's pitching well, as long as you manage him and he can, take care of himself as a 20-year-old in the big leagues, call his ass up. Let's go.
Yeah, his first, when I see him, his stature, for one. He's an impressive looking dude. Length. He's lanky. He's tall. He comes in there. I mean, I think Sandy Alcantara, I probably said
Alcantara. Yeah, close enough.
They're best buddies, whatever it is. I think that's a comfortable spot for him. And I always talk about being comfortable. When a young man is comfortable, good things do happen. And I think that leads to even better things. Impressive stat. But he's unhittable. This guy has been throwing so well. He's just making every hitter understand, like, listen, you can look at all the film you want, but when you step up into that box, you put everything away. It's time to go hit. Downward plane, accurate, not walking many guys, doing what he has to do at this young of an age. It's just so impressive. And it's just something Miami needed for sure.
And that's my thing, Lo, is if he's in the minors and the stuff is there, he's a strike thrower. So, and we got our guest ready to go. So let's bring him in. Lance Lynn, ready to go on FT Live. Lance, how you doing? And, since we spoke a few weeks ago, you've struck out like 1 billion batters. What's going on, dude?
Just kind of finding my groove finally. Got some new toys to work with, figuring out how to work with them, when to use them, how to use them, how to get them to tunnel off everything. So, the old phrase, teaching an old dog new tricks, is starting to pay off.
I honestly think it was either Gloria or the Vino. You can tell me different.
I won't tell you either one because both of them happened.
Hey, you finally took my advice. Not my card table advice, but you took my advice for it.
No, you can't take your card playing advice or you're going to be down a little bit. But definitely got me hot with the strikeouts. That's for sure.
Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing All-Star break? You got any plans?
We're going to be on a boat all 4 days. So we're looking forward to it. All the kids are ready to go. A little lake time.
That's pretty sweet.
You stay on the boat?
No, we stay at the lake house, which has a boat. So
we're
going to be all right. We're going to enjoy ourselves.
Okay. Do you get a lot of sleep during All-Star break, or you got to run around with the kids? Like, do you feel like the first half of the season is a rush and you need to kind of charge the battery?
Yeah. I mean, once you have 4 kids, there's no charging the battery. You're up at 6 to 7 every morning, no matter what. So, if it's not one of them, one of the 3 are up, or one of the 4 are up, no matter what time of day it is. So you're always on the go, and just get used to it.
Hey, when you said you found your groove, I want you to explain that to some people, especially like the younger generation out there, because when they're struggling, all of a sudden the world's coming to an end. What does that mean, like finding your groove? Did you change something? What exactly are you talking about?
Well, I mean, for me, you play the game for a long time. You know what got you here. So I made sure that those things are where they needed to be. There was a few minor little changes I needed to make mechanically, and or with some way I was coming set and things like that, making sure I was good there. And then you just kind of, once you lock that in, you can just go. You find your groove is you're not worried about any of those things. You remember at the plate, you're worried about where your hands are, how you're striding and your load and all that. Next thing you know, the ball is by you, or you're taking a bad swing and not paying attention. So I went back to basics with my mechanics and how I like to attack people. And then I just worried about making pitches, and then started adding to that with, a couple different pitches here and there and how I used them. And then you start worrying about making pitches and not worrying about anything else, and good things happen.
Are the strikeouts coming naturally, or is there more to what you're talking about where you're going to get more chase and more swing and miss? I ask that because, we've talked in the past. Sometimes we're like, I don't give a shit about strikeouts. I can do 7, 8, 9 innings, 2 Ks, 1 run. I'm good to go.
Yeah. I mean, you're looking at the way it is, though. Like, my strikeout games are my longest games. I'm going out and pitching too. So the strikeouts are coming easy, and they're coming quick, and they're not coming with a whole lot of pitches. So if you can do that, then everything's perfect. When you get yourself in trouble is when you strike out, 12 guys, and next thing you know, you're out of there. 10 guys, you're out of there in the 5th inning, and you got your bullpen have to cover four innings worth of stuff. So I've been able to get through the 7th, a lot of those games, and things are in a good spot physically. All in all, everything's where you want it to be. I'd like for my win-loss and ERA to be better, but it's been a weird year on that end. But all in all, I can't complain except for winning more games as a team. That's for sure.
Hey, Lance, what's going on, man?
How you been?
I've been all right, hanging in there, dealing with these kiddos. But other than that, I'm good. Man, quick question, tough question for you here. What's the vibe in the clubhouse? Is it wave the white flag vibe, or let's take our all-star break, regroup, and let's get after it after the break?
You know how we are. We're all ingrained on, hey, when there's no waving the white flag, doesn't matter if it's what time of year it is. Everybody's working their ass off, to be honest with you. You can't be more proud. A lot of these guys, the steps they're taking, hasn't translated in win losses, but hopefully, keep that process now, and then you get to the, take a little breather at the break. Like you said, you need those breaks. We've been pushing hard with no luck. Hopefully we can have a little break, keep pushing everything, and all the work you put in starts paying off, and then you can go on a little run here and then show everybody in the, front office we can add a little bit and then see where we're at going down the stretch. But there's definitely no white flag. Guys are working hard. No one's quitting, and we got a good group. We just got to make sure everybody stays on task, and the ultimate goal is to win whatever game you're playing that night, and try not to look ahead, and then also not worry about what's happened so far. And we're trying to preach that every day.
Hey, we've been talking about the home run derby a lot on here. I did it for 3 years. We got Luis Robert going in for the home run derby. He's a favorite. He's close to being a favorite, actually. He's got one of the more home runs in the American leagues. Has he been practicing for one? And what do you think? What do you expect out of him this home run derby?
So I haven't seen any practicing yet, but what he's doing on the field tells me he's going to be just fine. So man, my man's coming into his own, finally showing he's been healthy all year for one, but he's also shown the whole world, that 60-game stretch he had in the pandemic year is who he can be and what he's about. So, I'm proud of the way he's, kind of taking a leadership role. He's becoming his own person. He's becoming, he's got a plan every day. It's fun to watch. So, hopefully he goes to the All-Star game and shows everybody how talented he is, because he's one of the more talented guys I've ever played with, and he's learning and day in and day out. And, as you guys know, that's fun to watch a player grow and become confident and become the star that he's capable of being. So he's been awesome. And, hopefully he can show in the home run derby. He's obviously got the power to do it. But, we'll see what that looks like. I don't know if he's practiced yet, but I'm sure that's coming here soon.
Hey, we also talked about the Houston game yesterday. Chas McCormick ran down first base. I don't know if you saw this video. He kind of swiped at Ty France's glove and hit his arm and knocked it back. Did you happen to see that yesterday?
I haven't seen it. He tried to do the A-Rod to Bronson Royal back in the
Yes.
100%.
Okay.
So that's basically what he did. Actually pulled his arm back, and he still caught the ball. Now,
Okay.
my question to you, here's the video if you could see it.
Oh,
Look there.
Oh, yeah.
Still caught it.
So he still caught it. Now, you're pitching today. If you're on Seattle, you're pitching today. Is there any bow ties going on or no?
Yeah, he's gonna feel that swipe. That's for sure.
My man.
I know it. That's the old school I love about it. No, listen. And you know what? There's no intent. You put one in the back and you move on, right or wrong.
Yeah, obviously you run down the line, weird things happen. You probably didn't even think about it. It just kind of happened. But now get one in the ribs the next day. Hey, I definitely should think about that and make sure I never do it again. So I don't think he did it on purpose. There's probably no ill intent there, but obviously you got to protect your guy, because you don't know what could happen there. Could have ripped out shoulder or wrist or something crazy. So you obviously got to make sure that you're going to protect your guys as a pitcher, especially when something weird and something unnatural like that happens.
How does that work within the clubhouse? Like, let's say that's your ball club, right? You're Seattle. You see that next day's starter. Is he just noticing right from the jump what's going on? Does someone need to make him aware of the situation? Does someone have a conversation, like maybe the catcher going, hey, we had a problem yesterday, we got to fix it?
I think it's depends on who's starting. If he's a veteran, I'm sure that he already knows what he's going to do going in. If it's a younger guy, maybe a veteran pitcher, catcher go up and talk to him, be like, hey, this guy's first at bat, force him at the hip sounds like a perfect way to get started in that at bat. Just to kind of tell him hello. We remember what happened yesterday, and let's not have it happen again. So, and then obviously, if you're a veteran, you know that hey, maybe when I throw a sinker in there, maybe that sinker's got a little extra life on it today.
I know
There you
you
go.
talk about veterans. I'm going to bring up Wayno. Watching him struggle a little bit and then going on the IL, man. Talk a little about him. It's got to be tough to watch a little bit, knowing how close you are with him.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously a fantastic human being. He's had a great career also, and I know that he's been really pushing to get that 200th win. And I know I was with him in the Classic. He was trying to get it going. And I was talking about, I was like, man, how's it going? He goes, I'm old, and I go, I told you you're old 6 years ago, and you're still doing it. So I don't know what you want me to tell you. He goes, But obviously, I want to see him to get to 200 and have that accomplishment because he's had such a great career. But he's battling, and knowing Adam, he's going to take this little break here, get himself right, and then figure out how to be productive down the stretch because that's what he does. When you think he's done and out, or he got an injury or something like that, he always seems to find a way back, and he always seems to find a way to be competitive because that's just who he is. He's going to will himself to do that, and that's what's made him not only a great person, but a great player for a long time.
Hey, Lance, I want to ask you about Fernando Tatis Jr. He's having a great year coming back from the PED suspension. He doesn't get voted in by the players to the All-Star game. Do you think that was a message sent? And would you have voted for him? Or I guess you did technically get to vote for All-Stars, right?
Did we vote for the National League?
I don't know.
I don't think I did vote
I
for
don't
the
think
National
they
So
League.
then no.
I
So
think it's
would
just
you
them
vote
that
for
did.
him? And what do you think? Because it seems like the players kind of send a message. I wonder if that's a one-year message or if that continues. It almost reminds me of, sometimes with the Hall of Fame where guys are like, writers will say, this is a steroid speculation guy for me. I'm going to ding him a year.
I'm going to tell you how many games he missed this year for that suspension?
Not
20?
a ton, like 20-ish. Yeah, but still, like if you look at what he's done since he's been back.
He's had a great run since he's been back. I'll give him
Yeah.
that, and he's a great player. I'm going to tell you that there's probably a good chance that he got dinged for that. Just because you're looking at who the other outfielders and stuff that they've had great years too, but they've been here from the get go and they don't have that. He already missed time for a suspension of an enhancer. So I'm going to tell you it's probably going to be a 1-year ding, just because, and it's because of there was already a suspension this year. I think if that suspension was over last year and he started the year, I don't think you would have saw it. So I think it's one of those things where people are like, man, he didn't even start the year because of this. I can't vote for him. But everybody knows he's a great player. I've heard nothing but good things about him as a dude. He did something he shouldn't have done, and he's paid the punishment for it. But I will say that most likely that's probably what happened. I don't think it's something that's going to continue. I think it's one of those things where, hey, you were suspended this year for it too. So, it's hard to write that name down when a guy's already served a suspension this year for it.
Do you think that we should add that eventually? Like, would that be one layer? Because I know, you're ineligible for playoffs regardless for that year. Do you think one All-Star game should be removed too to kind of separate a little more and not put it on the players?
So I think if I remember correctly, I think I talked to Frazier about this when we were in Texas together. I think if you get popped for a PED, I think that you should never be able to win a postseason award. You should never be able to win MVP. You should never be able to win Silver Sluggers, anything along those lines. Anything that's individual accolades, if you've been popped at any time, are done for your career. You can make all the money you want and help teams win, but you yourself have lost all privileges to have anything individual and be promoted for that.
I like
Okay.
that. I like
Yeah.
that a lot, actually.
You like that, Lo?
I do. I like that a lot.
We did talk about that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I don't remember who it was when we were there. We're like, man, he's a good player, but it's like you're gonna get celebrated for something individually, but it's like, man, you got the you got that cloud over your head, and there's guys that are never done anything that are right there behind you, and you can't. It's like, hey, you've made your choice. You're going to be able to make your money, but you don't get any individuals because you've cheated the system.
Hey, last question for me. Your best All-Star moment, because you've been there 2 times. Cain's been there 2 times. I've been there 2 times, and I wish it was more. But give me a moment for you. Was it just standing on the field, with your kids? Did you have your kids on the field, something, or was it like a moment in the game or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, I was obviously when you have all your kids, you're going down the red carpet and you have everybody dressed up and all that. That's pretty cool feeling. But when you take the mound, for me, when I took the mound, it's like, all right, here, there's no other game going on. There's nothing else anybody's watching except me pitch against whoever's in the box. Is a cool feeling. The only other time you'll ever have that is in a World Series, and being able to have both of those at the same time, or both of those experiences. So it was pretty cool to have that, and it's just like, hey, I'm against the best on the other side, and here we go.
Hey, Lance, and last one on my side, because I don't remember. We might have talked about it, maybe the first combo that we had with you months back. The beard's looking like real solid right now. It's in mid-season form. It's ready for the All-Star break. It's thick. Do you remember how difficult it was for you to feel like your face was naked with the Yanks? Because Todd Father went through that, and it's pretty tight right now, but he's grown it out. Yeah, it's tight now from the barber, but it was getting thick over here too. And like we're anti-facial hair policy, or at least I am at FT. Wear whatever the hell you want on your body or your face.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than heck, I was 31 years old. I don't remember the last time I saw a razor when I got traded over there. So there was no worse feeling every day than waking up and shaving. Your face hurt. You were just like, man, I look terrible. I was like, God, man, I look like an overgrown 12-year-old. I was like, it was just a bad feeling all the way around. My kids were like, who is this? I don't even want to look at him. So it was definitely something that I did not enjoy, and the family was weirded out by it for sure.
You know what they say, you can't polish a turd. So either way, it's fine.
No, you can't.
Lance, I love you, brother. Thanks for coming on with us, man.
Thanks for having me,
to you
fellas.
soon.
Enjoy the
Sounds
boat
good.
and the
Thanks
break,
for having me.
dude.
See you guys later.
Appreciate you. Lance Lynn from the Chicago White Sox, getting a nice little break coming up with the All-Star week next week. And we're a minute away from Matt Strahm joining us from the Philadelphia Phillies. We're going to talk a little cards. We can get this set up at least. You want to?
Yeah, no doubt.
You want to tell everybody what we're working with? We didn't want to go too big. And if the interview gets long, we can start to crack one more box. But we didn't want to. And sorry, Lo, you'll have to just watch us uncover some gems right here. Right. But so we're going to rip some packs.
2021 5-star tops. It's got 2 autograph cards per box. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, there's only 2 cards.
Oh, is it?
This is only 2 cards.
So then we might have to rip another here while we're doing it too. So we also have the.
No, we can rip another.
We'll
save this one for last. How about that?
Save that for last with him. I like this. This is the Big League Baseball Top Set 2023. Find one, become a big leaguer. Scratch off inside. So I like the art on this one on the front. Nice. And it's not. This isn't. The point is we don't want to do an interview where we're ripping 8,000 packs at a time. So
and then we have the top 2023 Series 1 has 1 autograph or relic card in every box. So
that one we'll save because that
a lot of cards in this one.
That one's hefty, I will say.
They both are. We can open a couple and see what happens.
Yeah. I'll take some out here. Strahm's going to join us in just a sec. By the way, for the Phillies yesterday, big win over Tampa Bay. Big sweep over Tampa Bay. The Rays have lost 5 in a row.
Phillies have these ebbs and flows to them where you're like, are they going to be the Phillies old or are they not? And all of a sudden you're beating really good teams now coming through. It's like, now you got the All-Star break too. Lo Cain is like, no, we don't want to stop. Keep going. So hopefully they keep it rocking there for the Phillies. Happy for them. Like you said, Wheeler going tonight. It's going to be a good matchup for sure.
Yeah, 100%. You definitely, like I say, when you're rolling, you will just want to keep rolling, but the break is coming. And I feel like as a unit, all around, they're just solid. They have solid players, solid pitching, solid position players. I feel like they should be winning consistently. So, like I said, they're on the roll now. So hopefully they can continue to keep it going.
Let's get into it right now with Matt Strahm of the Philadelphia Phillies. 2 big innings yesterday for the Phils in the sweep of the Rays. A few strikeouts. Phillies bullpen has been on fire lately. They pull up the sweep. They've won 12 games in a row on the road. And most importantly, currently being shot, The Card Life, which will begin airing on July 15th on tons of regional sports networks across the country. I'm sure you can catch online content as well. So how'd I do with the intro, Matt? How you doing, man?
Great. How are you guys doing? What up, Lo?
What's going on, Strahm? How you doing, man?
Good.
Y'all don't know we played together. I don't know if you guys know.
No, we didn't know.
You still
Tell
look
us-
like
tell
you're
us
ready to
more.
be in that field.
How
guess
was
I'm
Lo,
old now,
Matt?
so.
What was that?
How was Lo? Did he take you out?
Oh, Lo's unbelievable. His feet always hurt, but he got the job done all the time.
That was just to steal bases, dude. That was part of the whole trick that he would pull at first.
Exactly. You see him walking in after the inning, and you're like, no way this guy's stealing second if he gets on. Then he's gone. He's tricking everybody.
Ridiculous. Absolutely.
It's the okey
ridiculous.
doke, right?
Forget about Lo. I want to talk about cards, man. Listen, my question to you is I'm a card collector, not as crazy and avid as you, but which is fine. I love cards and everything. Like, tell people out there who don't understand, when you get a box or a loader or whatever it is, just that feeling once you get it in your hands, knowing like there might be something unbelievable in this box, like the excitement.
Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to keep boxes and collect boxes myself, but I got a bad habit of opening them all. So it's an adrenaline rush. I talk to guys all the time. Like, a lot of guys go to the casino. They love gambling. That's my form of gambling, is trying to chase the big hit in one of those boxes. And I don't know, it's a little adrenaline rush, and it makes me feel like a 10-year-old kid again.
And do you collect from dudes that homer off you? Is that true?
Yeah, so if you've taken me deep, I try to get a unique card of yours. I try to do like a rookie autograph card, but guys like Freddie Freeman take me deep, and I'm not looking to drop 10 grand after he just took me deep. So kind of a little salt in the wound.
Yeah, like right now, if you give one up to Ellie De La Cruz, it's going to cost you a lot, right?
I already got a few of them, so I got a few of his already. So
Oh, you do? Okay.
Hopefully they don't go into my box. They just stay outside of it, but we'll see.
I like it. And also, we're going to mix in ripping some packs as we chat, unless our producers tell us that our pack ripping is making too much noise. But so we've got two here while we converse. Show him the big one for the finale, and
So right
see if he
before you
knows.
get off, I'm gonna open this too. It's got 2 autograph cards. It's Topps 5-star 2021 box.
Okay.
So this is going to be the real deal, Holyfield, here for today at least.
Love
I
those,
can-
love
you
those
can see
boxes.
the
The boxes with the few cards, it's always a little more exciting because of how much you put into it just for 2 cards.
It's unbelievable.
And you're guaranteed auto, so you know you're getting something good. It's not like you're ripping through commons, right?
Yes.
Right.
And then the other one we have right now is Big League Baseball Topps. I like the art. Have you seen these ones before?
Yeah, designs are really cool on those. Those are fun rips, especially for kids that are just getting into it.
So the art inside too is pretty unique on some of these cards.
The big league cards are just kind of I don't know, just a more traditional. Like I said, they target the younger group, make it more affordable.
Yeah, you're not going to really find any like big cards in that one, I would assume.
No, yeah, your pack odds are way less than that. The bigger boxes get a little more exciting, but they're also very disappointing sometimes.
Very, very true. Now they said I read you have probably over 1 million cards in a separate room in your house. Is that true?
Yeah, I mean, I don't need my wife knowing that, so I just
Oh.
I keep the door closed, and it's a problem in there for sure. I gotta organize it one day, but it's gonna take forever.
Keep pitching the way you are, and you're in good shape. So as we're doing this, run me through last night. So it's random. I swear, I get the text that we're gonna talk to you on Friday. I'm watching the Thursday night game. You're one of the post-game interviews. First off, you have Stott and Marsh, just like the water brigade coming over and splashing you. But the favorite question for me was how hyped up you are after a win like that, and the bullpen went 5 hitless. And you're like, yeah, I'm probably not getting to bed until like 3 or 4 in the morning. So what time did you actually bed hit or face hit pillow fall asleep?
I mean, I think my Uber Eats delivered to the hotel at like 3:20. I probably hit the bed after that, so probably got to bed right around 4.
There you go. Okay. Is it hard to fall asleep after a game like that where you guys are facing one of the best teams in the bigs?
Yeah, especially as a reliever when your ultimate adrenaline spike is at 9:40 at night. and then you got to come down from that. It just takes a little bit, especially for me to eat. Like, I'm not able to eat right after I pitch. It takes me forever to even feel hungry or have an appetite. Like I said, I ordered food at 3:00 last night, and it was just like, I need it, but I'm not hungry. Figure it out. But starting, it's a lot easier for me because you're usually done in like the 7th. Hopefully not, but you are, and then you have a couple innings to come down from it, and it's a lot easier as a starter than a reliever. But it's an adrenaline rush like none other.
Strahm, I wanna go back to the baseball cards for a second.
Yeah.
Breaking up here. Yeah, I want to go back to the baseball cards for a second.
What you got?
Just 2 quick questions. For you to have that amount of cards, like, when did you start collecting, and what kind of got you into collecting the baseball card?
Yeah, so I mean, I collected as a kid, just kind of like most kids do, the full sets, collecting your local team. Like, I collected a lot of the Minnesota Twins, and then Darren Erstad grew up an hour and a half from me, and I collected a ton of Darren Erstad cards. Rick Helling, another Fargo, North Dakota guy, and got out of it when I was like 15. Didn't get back into it until 2018, and it was my brother who got me back into it. My brother is an entrepreneur. He could sell a polished turd to a rock collector. Like, he could figure it all out. And he was doing that with cards. And one day I just stopped at a store on my way home, picked up a box, opened it up with him, and we hit a Ronald Acuna rookie cup it was a rookie to 150. And again, the adrenaline rush, that just hooked me back into it. And then a majority of my cards, when I first got back into cards, like I said, my brother was flipping them, and we ended up buying a collection off a guy who was getting out of cards. And that one collection was probably 250,000 cards. It was unbelievable. I filled my Ford Explorer with boxes and boxes and boxes and bought it off the guy, and we went through it all. It was really fun, and that's a majority of where. I mean, probably not. I guess it's only 25% of what I got, and then I went down the rabbit hole, started buying cases left and right from 19 all the way until now, and I never get rid of them. I never really sell cards. I didn't get into that big crave of flipping them. I just have them.
So I'm trying to figure out why you never sent over a card to me. So I looked up my stats against you, 0 for 3, and then I looked up Cain's stat. He was 1 for 3. So him and I never hit a homer off you. So that's a shame. That's a shame.
And I haven't gotten myself to send over cards to other guys. I don't know why. It's just, I guess it's the competitor in me. Like,
yeah,
I don't want to send you a card and be like, oh, this guy thinks I'm cool. He's not going to throw a heater under my hands. Well, yeah, I am.
There was a pitcher that used to send over a bunch of cards. Who the heck was that?
Mishek.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, all the time.
And again, like, to each their own. However you collect is how you collect. But I love cards. It's fine. I'm labeled as a card guy, but I definitely don't want to be labeled as like an autograph hound.
Definitely. I think it's time. I'm like being very impatient.
Yeah,
here, so
you could do it. You can break it mid-interview. No rules.
It's time to open this bad boy up real quick. Let's see. Bro, what would
21
be crazy?
Is that top rookie? Is that Wander Franco was 22, right?
2021 5-star.
I'm trying to think the top rookie we want out of there.
Usually says it on here, but no names. But we'll see. We'll give it a shot here. This is our big box of the day, man. I'm getting up close and personal here. I got to make sure I do this right. Get a Strahm signed autograph card here. That'd be
hell yeah.
Sweet.
That'd be a disappointment in that box for
me. I'm going to get a card to go on top here. Why not get a Mike Trout card?
Oh, to go on top.
So we can't see. Don't look.
Okay,
look,
I'm not looking.
I'm not looking either.
Are they thick, those cards?
I'm looking.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. You can feel how expensive they are.
Yeah.
They are really thick.
Oh,
I don't know if we could zoom. It's tough to zoom in. But you can tell, like, these. Look how thick these cards are. So here.
Okay.
So first one here.
We got to reveal it.
Oh, we'll go this way. All right.
Yeah, and then look at the screen.
Oh, it's a little blurry. Here we go.
Hold on, we're fixing focus.
No, I'm going the wrong way. This way.
Oh, they're sideways?
There it is.
Is that a bat?
Who's that? That looks like a Yankee pitcher. It is. 8 out of 10, Deivi Garcia. That's a pretty short.
Oh, Deivi Garcia. Okay.
The gold auto.
Gold. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
What's the top auto? Do you know for that box?
21. I was trying to think of who, like, it's usually the top position player of that year, whatever rookie. I
Okay.
mean,
And you
pitchers
want
for
gold
some
auto?
reason. I mean, you'd want the 101. That'd be unreal.
Right.
8 out of
But
10
I mean,
ain't bad,
of
though.
10 is unbelievable. That's a
That's
nice
really
low
good.
print run.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, we're going to go down here to see here. We have
I got the shot here too, so I can
lefty.
set us up.
That looks like Max Kepler.
Kepler.
Not bad.
What?
Not
How
bad.
many in that one?
It's not numbered.
Oh, okay.
Just 5-star autograph in blue.
I believe their autos are limited. It's not numbered, but I believe it's limited to 150. So that print run of that card should only be 150.
Shows
But
all the
it's not
stats on the
standard.
back there. I mean,
I should have a shot
They're
now.
really heavy cards too. I really
yeah.
like them.
I should have. There we go.
Oh,
Beautiful.
there we go. That's
Yeah,
a nice
that
Vladdy.
Vladdy. You like that Vladdy?
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah, because we do this like almost every Friday during the show, during one of our
Those card stands
combos.
are really cool too. Did you guys make those?
The stands.
Yeah.
Our dude behind the
Oh,
scenes, our
Big
PA, Jesse, Big Jesse. You made
That's
him.
pretty sick.
Nice.
cool.
You got the shout out, Jesse. There you go. Little Otani in the middle. Relevant. I know the card's not worth necessarily a ton. It's not like an auto.
And
Or
see, that's what's cool
anything,
about
but
collecting to me is like everyone always asks me like, "Hey, what's the most expensive card you got?" And it's like, well, I got a card. Again, I got a card that's probably worth $200 on eBay, but I'm not going to sell it to anyone if they offer me $5,000 just because what it means to me. And I don't know, cards tell stories. Like if Shohei Ohtani is your favorite player, that card's really cool to you, even though it's probably only a $3 to $5 card. But it's just, I mean, again, I'm not into it for the value of it as much as I am just, I like the cards. Cards tell stories to me, and that's what they are.
Where do you think this Phillies team is going, man? Because you guys are veering in the right direction. How's the clubhouse feel? What are you guys talking about? I mean, I feel like you guys are going to be in for a good run here come second half.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we didn't have the start we wanted. We look around this clubhouse and it's 26 talented dudes. I mean, even look at our AAA team. We got big league relievers down there left and right, and it's we're set up to do what we need to do, and you know, we just got to take care of business. And again, it's a bunch of veterans in this clubhouse. They're all professional. They all go about their job. There's not talk what we need to do because we all know what it is, and we just go out there every day and do our job and compete.
do you trade cards with anybody on the ball club? Anyone else interested in collecting? Like, is Bryce into this stuff at all?
I don't know if he's into it as much as ripping packs and finding certain cards. I'm sure he's got some of his own, but Connor Brogdon rips cards with me every now and then. Caleb Cotham, our pitching coach, got into it. Kevin Long's big into it, actually. But last year in Boston, I'd say probably right after the break is when I got guys starting to turn and interested in it. And by the end of the year, we'd have 8 to 10 guys around a table in the clubhouse opening cards. It was really fun. But you know, it's I don't know. I get called the nerd all the time in the clubhouse for opening cards and all that. It's a kid's hobby, so to speak, is what a lot of people look at it as. But I don't know. It's my little niche, and I enjoy it.
Such a nerd that you're going to host your own
Yeah.
TV show. Be like, how about that? Huh?
Exactly.
How about that? I got a
Exactly.
few more that are emerging, so I'll take Kepler off here. There's a DeGrom. It's out of $4.99 from
There we
this
go.
Topps, but this one's got a little to it. 1988 Topps baseball relic card from the Series 1, and we've got a little uni patch going on for Mr.
There
Cole.
we go.
Nice. I like that one. It's got the classic look with the uni to it. Hey, tell me about Bryce, though. What's up with him right now? How's he doing? I know, he's dealt with some injuries and came back super early, and I feel like he's going to have a big second half, too. And depending on what happens at the trade deadline with the Phils, like if they don't trade for Paul Goldschmidt, Bryce Harper might be your first baseman when you look over.
Yeah, I mean, watching him at first, he's an unbelievable athlete. I mean, we all know his story of being a catcher and whatever. He can do whatever you ask him to do. His injury too. I did the same thing back in 2013. I had Tommy John, and for him to be back as quick as he is unbelievable. And then for him to perform at the level he's performed, with such a quick return, it's mind-boggling to me each day what he's doing. And I mean, all you can do is tip your cap. And I mean, the guy's got to be a superhero somehow.
Does he always have great one-liners? Like there were a couple things last year in the playoffs that came out afterward from being mic'd up, like just money lines. Like who did we have? Garrett Stubbs was on with us one of the first few weeks that this show was live. And I'm trying to remember the exact words he said, but it was something along the lines of when he hit his big playoff homer, the iconic moment where he was just like, that was fucking awesome. You know, like, but way cooler the way he worded it. Does he have a lot of that in him?
Definitely does. And I just think that's because he's the ultimate competitor. Winning is everything to him. And I mean, when you're that way, it just comes out of you naturally. But as far as one-liners, I think Stubby kills the one-liners. Stubby keeps it loose, no doubt.
I love that. What do you got?
We're still looking, man.
You're still looking for gold?
Still looking.
Yeah.
You can look all day in those packs. It's addicting.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and this is a big box too. You actually almost got through it.
You got the Series 1 jumbo.
Yeah.
They said might get an auto in here, and we got like.
You haven't gotten one yet?
Not yet.
There's definitely an auto in each box, so that's got to be the pack. Otherwise, I'm calling them up. No?
Not yet. We got a couple. We got 4 more left.
Okay.
Well, hey, are you a Grateful Dead fan? I see the poster behind you.
No, I'm in the clubhouse manager's closet area.
Okay.
I love it. Well, Matt, we'll let you jump. I know you got a big game tonight. We're looking forward to checking out the ball club, and the relief pitching's been out of control right now. So keep it up with the boys. We enjoyed ripping some packs with you. We'll look out for the show when it's coming up and give it a little pub as well from our side. So thanks for hanging out with us, man.
Right on. No problem, guys. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you. Matt Strahm from the Philadelphia Phillies. Phil's taking on the Marlins tonight. And Lo, actually, that's another reason why you picked that as the game that you want to go to later, because I didn't realize you and Strahm had a little bit of time together.
Yeah, got a little history together, you know. So
yeah,
he was a pleasure playing with, man. We had a blast out there. But,
super chill. I love it.
I guess I'm well known for, hobbling around the field. So
everybody says that, right?
I know, right?
I love it. All right, let's slap hands. So we got a couple things. So I'll just throw this out for the stat behind the scenes, if we have it in a minute or two, to show that board again about where everyone can check us out from Sunday through Tuesday. I think it's worth another mention. But before we get to that, did you see the brawl in the minor leagues?
That was a good one.
That was heat. Little Cleveland Guardians action. And I believe the brawl was in Nashville,
yep.
Am I right? Yeah. Okay, we got video. Let's go. Columbus and Nashville, 2 powerhouses.
It didn't go well. And now a conversation being had here at the plate with Jackson and the batter.
Umpire's getting him out of the way.
He's upset. He's trying to shove Alex Jackson. He's hot. Jackson going right back at him.
Wow. I tell you what, these two getting after it.
Yeah.
Between the Clippers and the Sounds, Abner Uribe's coming in. Something between Valera and Jackson, and Valera was not going to let it go. And the Sounds are trying to get some guys out of there. The Clippers are too. Charlie Green pulling Uribe out of there. Man, Valera and Jackson started going at it with some words exchanged. Peyton Henry's holding Jackson back. Boy, whatever that was, Valera was jawing at Jackson. Tanner Moore.
Oof, that's George Valera is a good prospect too, for the Cleveland Guardians. He's, to some lists like a top 30-ish prospect, 22 years old, and if he comes up to the show, I'm like, yep, that dude's on my side. He can pack a punch.
No, listen, umpire needs to get the heck out of the way there, Cain. If you can't separate him on the first try, you get the heck out of the way. That guy's lucky he didn't get slammed.
Where's his T-bar? What did Callis call it?
Armbar.
Armbar. Where's your armbar?
Give him a stiff arm. That was pretty solid, man. The catcher wasn't backing down either.
Oh, we got another view.
See?
Coming in hot. Look at the catcher's ready to go.
See, that's how it should be, you know. One-on-one, give them about 5 to 10 seconds, let them get it, get after it, and then we break it up.
That's like hockey.
You know?
They
Dusty
give you like
Baker
20.
always said it. Let it be a hockey match.
Yeah.
Everybody's surrounded. When the guy falls down, it's over with.
Yep.
It's over with. I like that.
Is that what Dusty said?
Dusty said, if you have a brawl, a problem with the pitcher, if you're the hitter, if you're the pitcher, you have a problem with the hitter, everybody come around. Once all of a sudden, boom, bang, boom. It's going to take 5 or 10 seconds. Like you said, it's not going to be long.
No.
So those minor league ones, they're a little crazy.
Yeah, they are. Oh, yeah.
Well, let's finish on a high note.
Yes.
The schedule, one more time, please, for our FT fans. We appreciate you joining us on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Basically, if you flip on our YouTube channel, we're most likely going to be live. Sunday night, that's 7 o'clock East Coast time. We'll be on the West Coast in Seattle, draft takeover. We're going to cover the draft like you've never seen it before. Okay, that's all I'll say. And Baseball America's involved. So you're going to get the best info and you're going to get the best conversations because the dudes are going to be real. We're talking to the draft picks and draft experts, the whole deal. Monday and Tuesday, 1 to 4 Eastern time. Same deal as usual. We'll be on Stadium for that first hour. Then we'll run it for hours after that on our YouTube channel. And then that evening, we got to hustle out to Tacoma through the traffic, maybe get the police escort, line us up. Mark, come on. Set it up for us. All-Star Takeover live from Tacoma at the casino. We'll be with a crowd out there, and we'll bring on a number of creators to go through the All-Star game. We'll literally be watching the All-Star game. We'll throw the stats up on the YouTube live, and we'll talk through what we're seeing. With out there, we'll have Pierzynski, Kipnis, Kratz, and Adam Jones as our primary hosts on the desk, and then, of course, JJ Cooper on Sunday, and then Guest City. Because it's at the MLB Player House. I don't know when's the last All-Star City you've been to? Not as a player. Have you been since, either of you guys?
No.
Have you been to All-Star festivities?
Nope.
Oh, we should invite you next year. You got to come next year with the crew, with the Foul Territory crew. It's fun. If you don't have to do all the runaround, right? With the agents being like, I need you here at 8. You got a breakfast. Then you got BP. Then you got your game. Then you got this party. Then you got this event. You got to sign this. You just come out there and hang with us. We'll throw you on the desk for a little bit, but it's a good time.
I like it.
Yeah. So tune into the coverage. It's going to be awesome. All right. And that's a wrap for a Friday, baby. I love it. Oh, it's in Arlington next year. Lo Cain.
Oh, right up the street from you. I'll be going to a few Cowboy ways, so I'll be there.
There you go. Easy ride. We'll pick you up. We'll pick you up on that game time jet, baby. Happy Friday, everyone. Just 2 days away from the next Foul Territory special, a All-Star Takeover Sunday through Tuesday. We'll see you Sunday night with Baseball America at the Players House. Happy Friday.